Hello and welcome to Nkumat Online Academy. I hope you are doing very fine. Today we are going to learn about weather. So you are going to learn how to read weather conditions, what weather is all about, and so many other things associated with weather. So let's define weather. Weather simply means the state of the cloud or the atmosphere at a particular place and time. The state of the cloud or the atmosphere, that is in brackets, at a particular place and time. At a particular place and time. That is what we call weather. So how the cloud or the atmosphere looks at a particular time and place. If you come out from your house in the morning and you look up to the cloud or the atmosphere or your surrounding, you check how it looks, whether it is sunny or whether rain is about to fall. That is what we call the weather. So if you want to talk about weather, you must be talking about weather at a particular place and at a particular time, because the weather condition in one place at a given time may be different from weather condition of another place at the same time. If someone is living in Lagos and another person is living in Abuja, if two of them come out maybe by 1 p.m. in the afternoon and two of them observe the weather, they will see that the weather condition may be different. In Abuja, it may be raining, but in Lagos, it may be sunny at the same time at that 1 p.m. So if you want to talk about weather, you must indicate the time. You must talk about the time that you're observing the weather and the place where you are observing the weather, because weather condition at different places are different. Now, if you want to talk about weather or if you want to represent weather, there are different symbols that you use to represent weather conditions. If you see something like this, it means that the weather is sunny. So when everywhere is very sunny and you want to represent it, you want to write it and show to other scientists that the weather is sunny, you draw this symbol and that shows that the weather is sunny. So sunny is one of the weather conditions. You can say that the weather is sunny. That is the weather conditions. We have different weather conditions. Sometimes you can say that the weather is rainy. If you want to represent or to say that the weather is rainy, this is how you draw it. Now this thing is showing the cloud. Now this one is showing water droplets, these small small circles. So it shows that the weather is rainy. That is that rain is coming. Now another weather condition is, you can say that it is partly sunny. That means that sun is shining, but it is not that much. If you want to represent it, you draw something like this. So this one is the cloud and this one is the sun. So the sun is not covering everywhere, unlike this one. The sun is full this side, but here some part of the sun is not showing. Cloud is covering some part of the sun. So it is partly, part of it or part of the sun is showing. So that means that sun is shining, but it is not that much. So this weather condition is said to be partly sunny. Then we can also say that the weather is cloudy. That the weather is cloudy. That means that cloud is covering everywhere. If you want to represent it, you draw something like this. Now this shows that the weather is cloudy. There is no sun there and there is no rain. Everywhere is cloud. That means that if you come out and look at the weather, everywhere will be a kind of whitish cloud will cover everywhere. It will be very difficult for you to see. That is when you look up, everywhere will be whitish or cloud will cover everywhere, which indicate that maybe rain wants to come. You talk about cloudy weather when you are expecting rain or when rain is gathering. So you say that the weather is cloudy and this is how to represent it. So this is another weather condition. You can also say that the weather is partly cloudy. That means some part of the weather or major part of the weather is cloudy, but other part of it is showing sun. So we represent it this way. So here you see that the sun is between two weather structures, two cloud structures. This is showing cloud and this one is showing cloud. so sun is between it. That is how to show that the weather is partly cloudy. A major part of the weather is cloudy, but sun is showing on the other part of it. Then you can also say that the weather is windy, to show that wind is blowing very well. You say that the weather is windy, and this is how to show it. So this one represents windy weather, that everywhere wind is blowing or air is moving at very fast speed. A moving air is called wind. We can also talk about, we can also say that the weather is sunny and rainy. That is when sun is shining and rain is still coming at the same time. Sometimes we observe weather that is like that. Rain is coming and sun is still shining. If you want to represent the weather condition, you draw something like this. So this side is showing sun, this is showing sun, and this is showing rain. So you say that it is sunny and rainy. And again, the last one is that you can talk about thunderstorm. When rain is coming and thunder and lightning are showing, you say that it is the weather condition or that we have thunderstorm. If you want to represent it, you draw something like this. So this one is showing a sign of thunder and this one is rain. So when it is raining and thunder and lightning they are showing, we say that it is thunderstorm. Thunderstorm. So these are different weather conditions and the symbols that we use in representing them. Now, we have different instruments that we use in weather or to measure different weather conditions or to check some things about weather. Sometimes you may want to check the amount of rainfall that falls at a given time, and sometimes we may want to check the speed of the air, that is the wind speed, and sometimes we may want to check the direction of the wind, and sometimes we may want to check the temperature of the weather, and some other time we may want to check the pressure of the atmosphere. We have different instruments for checking these things, and they are called weather instruments. They are If you want to check the temperature of the weather, we use an instrument called thermometer. For temperature. Now, if you want to check the wind direction, where the wind is going, we use what we call wind vane. If we want to check the speed of the wind, we use wind meter. Then if we want to check the amount of rainfall after rain has fallen, we use rain gauge. We use it to check the amount of rainfall. And if we want to check the pressure of the atmosphere, that is the force that the air carries, we use barometer. So these are different instruments that we use in checking or when talking about weather. Thermometer, wind vane, wind meter, rain gauge, and barometer. Now, factors that affect weather, what will determine whether it is going to rain or whether it is not going to rain or whether it is going to be sunny or whether it is going to be partly cloudy. They are the factors that affect weather, and they are number one, temperature. Temperature, which is how hot or how cold the weather is called the temperature of the weather. Whether the weather is hot or whether the weather is cold. that is the temperature. It affects what is going to happen or how the weather is going to look. Number two, wind. Wind is a moving air. The air that is moving is called wind. So when air is moving, it can dry off water in the atmosphere and make everywhere to be dry. So you are now going to have a dry weather. So it affects how the weather will look. Wind. Then sun. The sun produces heat that dries up things on earth. So it affects how the weather is going to look. When sun is shining on earth, it will dry up water and reduce the amount of water content or the moisture in the environment. So sun affects the weather. Then we have the cloud. Cloud is droplets of water that covers the sky. Droplets of water that cover the sky is called cloud. So that thing that we look up and see white thing in the sky, that is small droplets, small drop of water that covers the sky. That is cloud. So when the cloud gathers much, when we have enough cloud in the sky, then that means that it is about to rain. After some time, it will condense, become very cold, and then start to fall down as rain. So the more the cloud gathers, the more the tendency for rain to come. And then the last one is moisture. The moisture is from the lake, from sea, the river, the ocean, from rainfall and others. The things that make the environment to be wet, that's the moisture. So these are the factors that affect the weather: temperature, wind, sun, cloud, and moisture. Now your assignment. Now, if this represents the map of Nigeria and we have Lagos here, So let's assume that this is the map of Nigeria. Now we have different weather conditions represented by their symbols for each of these different locations: Abuja, Lagos, and Enugu. Now you have to identify the weather condition in these different places from these symbols given here. So that is the assignment. You do this and you submit. Thank you.